What's up? My name is Rich with Hustle Ninjas. I'm out here in Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm here with Gabe and Tim. We're gonna talk to them about how they built their brand.
It all started with my good looks, my superior good looks.
If y'all believe that, y'all crazy, because he look like a bootleg Kyrie Irving, don't he? That's
it right there. That's the
Hey, we here, we live, we ready to go, man. We ready to make it happen.
So y'all know it's gonna be crazy. Let's get straight to it. All right, so we're here to talk about brands, man. I think y'all built up several different brands. Let me know how y'all started.
Man, so we started doing music in college together, man, and I was like I said, I was the Michael Jackson of the group. He was the Tito.
That's so
you know
crazy.
What I'm saying? But
that's what you gonna do, man?
Nah,
what you gonna do,
man, we started, we met each other at Stephen F. Austin State University in Nacogdoches, Texas, a little small college town. And man, we started with music, started doing stuff there on campus, and then eventually we moved here and it turned into what we're doing now. And Art of Homage was the first brand we started with, and we've since started others and built other brands and bought other brands. And now we teaching other people branding, so yeah.
What was the first success y'all saw? Because apparently y'all got several brands. Like, how'd y'all blow up that first one?
So the first one we started with, Worship was the logo, but it wasn't a block logo, it was actually the main signature logo that we use. Yeah. And I told G, I was like, man, I'm gonna start designing, right? And he was like, man, well, I'm gonna pick up a camera. And so we pretty much started from there. And when we launched this, I wanna say, man, it took us about a year. We was designing, planning, putting our Shopify store stuff together. And I want to say the first week we sold 5 hats and 4 of them was family. So then it was like, man, we're going to get it 6 months. And then like literally a couple weeks into it, a lady in Florida bought like everything on the website. We was like, oh man, we own to something. Yeah. And so that was the takeoff from there, man. And he was trash at shooting from the beginning, I'll say that.
Crazy thing is, we always go back and forth like about how the first designs and photography was. My man's created a shirt, man. He created a shirt. I mean, when I tell you couldn't read the shirt whatsoever.
Man, don't do me like this, bro. Don't do me like this.
So we had the growth, but I think we got to a point to where it's like, you know what? We really don't know what we doing, but our vision gonna supersede like where we are. You know what I'm saying? And the lack of information. Yeah, and that was the difference between what we had and what some people had during that time we started. It's like, if we don't know it, we're gonna figure it out. And that's what we did, man. And we caught a wave. And I think was to be consistent in everything that we doing and build community. And that's what we really did. Like, we built the joint where it was community-based, community-driven. And a lot of people worry about like having the whole world knowing them. You don't need the whole world to know you. You just need to have the right people to know you.
Facts. And the crazy thing, like, as you know, we do Christian brands. So as a Christian brand, we coming out of college, most of the Christian brands was like, you know, Coca-Cola, Jesus is the real thing. It was like mock-ups of movies and other products. So it was nobody making like that streetwear for people who could wear out beyond a Sunday. Right. And so that's kind of how we took off, is that we created we filled a gap where nobody was making the kind of stuff we was making that you could rock every single day. Yeah. So that's kind of how we took off.
And we just created like this different way of looking at Christian culture and fashion. Yeah. And it just, we ran with it, man.
And it didn't hurt that I looked so good.
So how many brands y'all got?
So 4.
5.
Well, 4, 1 on the way.
Yeah.
We're about to launch another Apollo brand that we've been working on for a couple of years. So we're launching that at the top of next year. Then we have Art of Homage, this is one of the AOH aisles right here. Then we have Red Letter Clothing, Eternal Posture, which is our performance brand, fitness. And then we have the Prayer Movement. Right. Yeah, so we have 5 total.
So y'all want to walk me through like a creative process of one of the products?
Man, yeah, so I think a dope one to actually start off with is the one that my man is rocking right now. So we dropped this one this morning. But I think for us, when it comes to like design and putting things together, like our big thing is to be innovative. Like how do we take something to another level? How do we do something? And you know apparel, it's a crowded field, right? Yeah. But you got to be able to really be disruptive to culture, do something that nobody else is doing. And so when we started our brand, one of the first things that we did was we added the round hem swoop tee on it. So that already made it distinctive like 5 years ago, because you didn't see it everywhere. And then we were like, man, how can we take it to another level? Well, then we put a hood on our most popular selling t-shirt, which is the swoop hem tee. And so now we got this. Then we also added our manifesto, which is the words that are on the hood that's already on the swoop tee. So we did 5 or 6 different things, man. This is our own fully custom, unique cut and color t-shirt, man. And so doing things like that is how we want to approach like design and fashion, like be innovative, be on the front end, you know, of culture, and be disruptive.
Right. And the crazy thing about that is that we color dipped the exact color tee to the hunter green that we did with the hat. And then the thing that we do to differentiate that is we put suede bills under the bottom of all of our hats, so it's our signature thing. And so this one we just put the red signature under the hunter green, and then it color matched it to that, man, which made it super dope.
And you always want to have something that, again, it's just your approach to it should be, how do I be different than everybody else is doing it? So, I mean, you obviously have the suede underneath the hat, but you also have the logo on the side of the hat. You have the red, custom red tag for all of our pieces that we drop, and then just the detail inside of the crown of the hat. Everything is all unique to what we do through AOH, and that's our approach for all of our brands, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you get people talking about like, how do I find the right audience? Well, we've been able to find the right audience in the same audience, if that makes sense. Within Christian culture, we have 5 different brands that reaches 5 different styles and audiences, you know what I'm saying? So it can be done.
I love it, man. I think you got something you wanted to show me?
Yeah, man, so we got this new drop coming, man. This is a different play on it as well. And so you got that hot pink, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hot pink guy or something, you know what I'm talking about?
T-Mobile guy.
T-Mobile guy. Oh, man.
Come on, man, you have to put T-Mobile on.
T-Mobile guy.
And so we put that hot pink under it, and then we got the same color dipping process doing with the shirt. And so the tee matches the shirt, round hem swoop tees, a little bit longer than normal. And so that's kind of our niche, man, of the pieces that we create and make. And now everything is custom bagging. The hat has a box. And so when you get it, the unboxing experience is so good, you want to share it. You want to talk about it. You want to match your shoes with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where we at with it.
So we went from releasing, you know, our products from like maybe once a month or once every like 6 weeks or something like that, to like every week we're gonna drop something different. And then it went from dropping something every week to maybe a surprise drop on a Friday or a surprise drop on a Monday. And with apparel, when you're building a brand, you know, you're only as good as what you just did. You know what I'm saying? People want to know where you're going, not where you are. And so that's our look on it. Like, we got to keep coming out with dope stuff. We got to keep being innovative. We got to keep putting out these pieces that people connect with, because that's the way you build a brand. It's all about connection and community.
All right, we talked about the brands. Y'all show me the product. Y'all show me how y'all get it in people's hands. Y'all want to let me know how y'all got started. Before y'all got started, what were y'all doing?
So before we got started, I was a banker at Chase. Like, graduated college, first job I walked into was this little small bank, got a banking job, thought I was gonna be there for like a year. I was like, man, everything we doing creatively gonna blow up. I thought it was about to blow up. But 10 years later, still was banking before it actually like got to a space where we was able to take off and do it.
For myself, I ended up going from being a probation officer to a behavior interventionist with the school district to being in the position that we in now. So from the jump, when we were like, man, we just too creative to not do anything. So we moved here from our college town to the city. And what we were doing just didn't pop. It didn't go anywhere. So we were like, man, what are we gonna do? And that's when he's like, man, I'm gonna design a hat. And I'm gonna get a camera and I'm gonna learn to take pictures. And it really started from there. And so go ahead.
One thing he leaving out, he's the matching sock guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy who matches.
I'm there right
you know
now, baby.
See what I'm saying? His socks match.
I'm a sock
the
guy.
Hands, which match the shoes.
Yeah.
See how he brought black and orange together?
Yeah.
So I knew like, hey, if I bring him the designs, he gonna be real candid and honest, because we've been friends for like 16 years. Yeah. So if I bring him a design and it's not good, he gonna let me know. And so the one thing that separated good to great is having that honesty and that trust and creativity to say, hey, here's a design. Because that summer of 2015, like, started with one design. He's like, nah, it's not it. Second, third, fourth. It's like, oh, that's good. And I was like, nah, we can't be good. It's gotta be great. Absolutely. And so we finally got to that one design and it was like, oh, this is super dope. And so we started out, it was gonna be a hat company. Yeah. Then it was like, man, let's just throw a couple t-shirts in there with it. And then it just went from there.
Starting from a hat company, just supposed to be that, and now one of the leading, if not the leading, Christian streetwear brands that we have out, man. But again, you go back to design, it starts with design. It's one of the most overlooked aspects of brand building. Right. Like somebody says, man, I got an idea, but okay, the idea is dope. Okay, what's your design look like? Right. If you got a candle company, what's your candle smell like? You know what I'm saying? These are the things that people will buy into.
Your candle look good, but it don't smell good.
It don't smell good. You know what I'm saying? I can have it there, but I won't light the wick because it's not going to do anything. Yeah. And that's something that we knew coming in. It's like, if we get the design right and we have the idea and the design and the community, then this thing, it will really blow. Yeah. And we didn't want to overlook the details of building our brand.
Right. Plus my good looks.
Oh man, we back at square one.
We right back to square one, man. But man, I think he really think he like Tyson Bedford in his prime.
Ebony Man of the Month, 3 years running. If Polo was around when I was younger, I would have been the Polo.
My man ain't never. Listen. My man used to dress up when he used to dress up in college.
Don't do this.
Don't
do this to me, bro.
I'm gonna do it because check this out. My man used to try to dress up, right? He would put on like a dress shirt. Homie didn't realize that, man, you're not a size 17 in the neck. So his undershirt, chest, hair, everything be showing. I'm like, man, he really think he looks good.
Man, it was free shirts, man, that I got for Christmas or something, and I was wearing those shirts.
So needless to say, I was the tastemaker and he wouldn't. That's what that's about right there, man. But you know what? The crazy thing about this is, you know, you think about just, we rag on each other, we joke, we do our thing. A lot of people like get frustrated because they want to build brands, they want to build it with people that they know, and they want to build it with family, they want to build it with a best friend. It's not an easy thing to do. Right. And the reason that it's not an easy thing to do for most people because you don't have that commonality. And the commonality is, I have your best interest in mind. Yeah. You have my best interest in mind. Yeah. And we're friends beyond what we building. Right. And if it only stops there, it's not gonna last, man. You know what I'm saying? And so foundationally, coming into building our brands, man, we had all those things in place. It wasn't an easy transition though, you know what I'm saying? Because we used to taking care of our families, working full-time jobs, you know what I'm saying? And having something that we know is stable to building something on our own. It also took us kind of learning and unlearning, you know, different things, working through corporate and transitioning, you know, into the house.
That was a tough transition because like you go from working a corporate job, people tell you what to do all day long, to jumping into your own thing. And you like, man, I used to do this at night from like 10 a.m., 10 p.m. to 2 in the morning. I'm gonna just work. But you like, now you're doing it all day and you like, man, what do I do now that I've done these few things? Right. So having that ability and vision to say, in order for us to go from 10,000 a month to 50,000 a month to 100,000 a month to 300,000 a month, those are all different mindsets and different skills that you have to acquire along the way to get to those levels.
So how was you able to still take those 5 sales and we're like, oh, we're just gonna keep pushing instead of folding?
Man, so we said we're gonna work hard at this for 6 months, and if at 6 months we're giving it every single day, day in and day out, if we don't see any fruit from it, we just gonna fold.
But then there was also that transition in there where we were picking up traction. We were like, man, unless we start looking to go full time, we're not gonna get to where we go, you know, because it's partial commitment to something that you want to be legendary, and that's not good. So we needed the full commitment from each other, and so it was. But again, a lot of people say, well, I'm going full time, I'm just gonna dive into it. Nah, we want to think this thing out though. Yeah, we got kids.
So Rich, that's a whole different mindset of saying, man, we got this successful brand, we doing 10K a month, and we work, we could just take this money and just, you know, ball out, do different things.
Keep going, but we started with $1,500. We didn't have 10,000. We didn't borrow any money. We had $1,500 that was saved, and that's how our brand started.
And that's good, because that $1,500 we sold out, put all the money back into it, and then now we got more product, more money, and so then we just kept doing that for 18 months until we couldn't do it anymore. So now we looking at like 45, 50 grand, and we getting ready to say, okay, one of us needs to jump. If we're gonna do this full time, somebody needs to devote that time to it. And I was the first one to jump. 6 months later, he was able to jump, and then it just kept growing from there.
Man, it was a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? But it was focused work. And that's the difference between turning a hobby into something that's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? How focused are you? How bad do you want it? And we would get so many people asking us questions about it, where it's like, man, I wonder who's serious about really building a brand. Because we start making traction and we start seeing people trying to do some of the things that we were doing.
Man, we started taking Zoom calls and just like helping people build. And then we was like, man, a lot of this stuff is common, like setting up an LLC, like getting a banking account, like setting up your business the real way to set yourself up to actually win. And so we started wrapping up all those questions, and that's how Entrebeliever was born.
And it's amazing how something can seem so common, but be so complex at the same time. Because even you think about infrastructure and money, you starting your brand, but you're going and eating Wendy's with the money that you supposed to be re-upping your shirts with. You know what I'm saying? Or you going and doing other things with the money that you made from a pop-up that you had. You know what I'm saying? And so we just took a different approach, and we just said, man, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna provide this platform, Entrebeliever, and to really inspire people, like to put their dreams in motion, but in a strategic way. Not just say, I want to do something, but now do it, and do it off the pivot of the information that we're giving. And it's been crazy just watching like thousands of people who've taken our courses and who've used it and who made stuff really happen. You know what I'm saying? And so Entrebeliever is just about inspiring the everyday dreamer, right? To really hone in on their gifts and talents and their purpose and make something happen and build a brand.
You know, what I love most, you know, you're able to take everything y'all learn from the brands, package it into Entrebeliever. Can you let everybody know how they can get in on that?
Man, at Entrebeliever on Instagram. Man, we about to launch the app. We got a whole courses set up on Podia. We've had like 1,200 students take our Brand Builders Club, and literally like, 17,000 people have taken webinars, courses, paid courses teaching you how to do different aspects of brand building. So from sourcing to how to create content to how to market to how to do Instagram ads. Like we literally break them down in courses and give people the inspiration and the how-to of how to build and grow and how to manage money and all aspects of how to do a product brand. We got it covered.
And the dope part about what we do, we want to make sure that our courses and everything that we put in are things, for one, that are evergreen. Where like if you master these things, if these things become part of your DNA, then hey, you're going to be successful if you have these certain things in play. So, but the work is on you. The success really lies in what you do with the information. So we're giving it to you to help you put it in motion. But these are things that we do every single day. And we've done every single day for 5.5 years. These are things that we rebranded brands that the numbers have been like stupid crazy. We've launched new brands, all doing the exact same process. And so we know that if it'll work for us, it works for other people because we see it every day.
And part of that process of doing it is, so we had AOH and then people was like, well, it worked for y'all, But then we took a brand that wasn't doing well, that somebody's like, I'm gonna just fold it, say, hey, we'll buy it from you. Yeah. We took that brand and turned it into another 6-figure brand. Then we took another one that's doing $175K a month just this past month. And we took that from a brand that had done $35,000 in sales for an entire year, and now it's doing $175 a month.
So and that's less than a year. It's less than 6 months. Yeah. About a little over 6 months, or about 6 months. So again, it's about what we talked about. You can't have unfocused energy, into building a brand. If you want to do it, do it. If you want it to be a hobby, then make it a hobby. Yeah. But if you want to take it to the next level, you need to be a part of what we're doing with Entrebeliever, because it's really helping people do it.
But the one thing that's really hard to duplicate is this face.
Oh man. We gotta end it with that, man. All right, so we're gonna have to close this out because this video, man. So let me know if y'all want some more from Entrebeliever and all of the brands that they got going on. Make sure y'all follow them
at Art of Homage, at Entrebeliever, at Red Letter Clothing, at The Prayer Movement, at Lamb Top Brand, at Your Story, My Design.
That's mine, but check out at Entrebeliever. Let's go, Dreams in Motion. Let's get it.